I lost 2 people who I know in the tragedy.
In Tunisia?
In Tunisia, yeah. I just wanted to ask you a question. What you meant behind your comments regarding the minute silence?
What's your name?
Rob.
I'm Russell. Rob. All right.
So the people who I'm speaking about are Adrian Evans and Pat Evans, his father.
So they were murdered out there?
Yeah, along with their nephew and his grandson. So
I tell you what it was, right? It's like see this, like when you read them stories in the paper about like those massacres and those tragedies, right? The newspapers that write about it and the governments that sort of put up the 1 minute silence, they've got like loads of policies and language that make those situations not only make them worse but actually create them. Like say like our government's got loads of countries, like it has a human rights abuses list where it says like these countries are dangerous countries, you shouldn't go there, they're dodgy, these are like there's dangerous terrorists there, and then our actual government help arms companies to sell weaponry to those countries, right? So it's like, well, if you really care about these issues, if you want to do something about the situation, for one thing, don't sell weapons to those countries, don't arm them. But or if you think business is more important than people's lives, just sell the weapons and shut up. Right, and then similarly, like a lot of them wars, Afghanistan, and like I've got friends that have served in Afghanistan, Iraq, and all that stuff. Now those wars, as time goes on, we're finding more and more they were economically motivated. They weren't there to help people. They weren't there to do anything except to fulfil certain agendas that existed prior to 9/11 and stuff like that. Right. So like when I was saying like that minute silence, right? I believe in God, right? So I pray every day, right? And when people are suffering, I pray for that. Like that's something I really, really care about. And of course, I'm not affected in the same way. You knew those people, so you're obviously affected, right? But what I meant when I said like that minute, so what I said about minute silence is, don't do those gestures if you are contributing to creating the situation that led to their death. Like a minute silence. That's
you mean the government?
Yeah. Like now, what I feel like there's such a disconnection between ordinary people and governments now. It's got out of control. Like the governments, the stuff they say and the stuff they do is completely disconnected. And for me, this was one more example of, oh, we'll do the minute silence, oh, we'll march for Charlie Hebdo, but they're creating the problems. So it's like, by all means, have a minute silence, but also do the things that are actually affecting it. To be honest,
I think the way that come over in the paper was you didn't give a toss.
Yeah, but that's why they do it on purpose. Do you know what? You know how I've done the episode, right? We had an email off a bloke who was there at the hotel. This bloke sent me an email going, I was at the hotel, he goes, and he goes, what people aren't reporting is, this is before I did it, this is how I've done that thing, right? Because I've got this email off this geezer that was at the hotel in Tunisia. He said all the Muslim staff that worked there were heroic, they were helping everyone, they were standing up for everyone. Why is no one reporting that? And the reason is because they want there to be tension between white people and Muslim people, because if we're all angry about them and they're angry about us, we're not thinking, hang on a minute, who's making money out of this shit? And that's the problem, right? So everything I said came from a comment from a person who was there. Not one newspaper goes, Russell Brand reading a comment from a person who was actually at the hotel, because that bit of information makes it clear that I'm not being disrespectful to the victims, I'm being disrespectful to the government that are trying to make money out of for me, but what's more disrespectful than me saying minute silence is bullshit is a situation where they make fucking money out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Rob?
When I heard you just, I thought I'd better ask a question.
I'm glad you fucking asked me, mate.
So, yeah.
Because I know they do that all the time. Anyone that's prepared to look, mate, I've got a few quid now, and instead of going, fuck this, I'll just do what I want. I'm like, right, what can I do to speak to people that come from the kind of communities I come from, stir it up and that. As soon as anyone does that, they destroy you.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, the reaction of people around me was like, fucking hell, who do you think he is? But obviously, you've just explained.
What do you think about what I said?
Well, I agree with the government, funding the terrorists with the arms and all that, but they sweep all that under the carpet, don't they?
They sweep everything under the carpet. They create these problems and they distract you.
And
they're not going
to tell people to stop going there because of the revenue it creates,
for
England and for the country involved.
If you want there to be less terrorism in the world, the simple fact is you've got to stop bombing countries where those people are. You've got to stop creating tension among different coloured and different religious communities. You've got to stop that, because otherwise it's going to keep kicking off and keep kicking off and keep kicking off.
But then it's just a roundabout scenario. You just keep going round. Nothing's ever going to be done, is it?
The only way of doing it, at some point, someone's got to, as ordinary people have got to say, you don't represent us no more. Stop attacking poor people around the world to make more money. That's what it's come down to. Now, you're a Villa fan.
Yeah.
I'm West Ham. We're both claret and blue men, both got different tattoos on our skin, but when it comes to it, in spite of the superficial differences, we do want the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's whether you're football fans or whether ordinary people the world over are lied to and distracted. There's no reason for us to be working as hard as we're working. People could be working less, getting paid more, getting a fairer deal, and the reason we ain't is because we're being blagged and turned over and lied to, and it's primarily because of the media, the government, the big corporations working together to keep ordinary people disenfranchised. I'm fucking glad you asked me that question, Rob.
Yeah. Thank you.